Hello and welcome to Lean White Football Vlogs. Right, so Arsenal are officially out of the FA Cup. We crashed out last night at the hands of Manchester City by 1-0. Nathan Ake getting the winner in the second half.
Oh no! Anyway.
And that game really did teach us a lot of lessons, didn't it? I mean, first off, I think the most obvious one is that Arsenal can compete with Manchester City in this title race. Even though it was the FA Cup, Manchester City last night put out a really strong team against Arsenal in the Cup. And equally, we put out a strong enough team as well, with a few added extra second team players. But I thought overall Arsenal played a really good game. I was happy with how we conducted ourselves. We played some nice free-flowing football. We kept Erling Haaland quiet, which was good. And we had some couple of chances to win the game. I thought Leandro Trossard, beg your pardon, played a really good game. I feel our midfield looked good. And overall I thought we played a really good game. But overall, Manchester City got the goal. They got the win. Nathan Ake with the goal in the second half. And Manchester City are through to the next round. It's kind of funny because I did say beforehand that I feel that this was kind of a win-lose situation for us, because if we won, then great, we're into the next round, but we'd also have played more games and it would have taken up our schedule a lot, and we still don't know if we have the depth or not to be able to handle that. And if we lost, which we did, then yeah, we're out of the cup, which is a shame. But at the same time now we have less games to worry about, and we can keep our full focus on the Premier League and the Europa League. The one noticeable point from last night, and I think it's quite clear now that Arsenal do need a new midfielder. And we've all heard at this stage, I mean, you'd have to be living under a rock if you haven't heard at this stage about Moises Caicedo from Brighton. I probably butchered how to pronounce his name, but you get what I'm trying to say. Moises Caicedo last night put out a tweet basically handing in a transfer request to Brighton, telling them that he wants to leave, he wants to take up a new challenge, and all this came amidst proposals and a transfer from Arsenal. Arsenal yesterday put in a bid for Moises Caicedo. It was turned down about 3 times yesterday, I think it was. He wants to leave Brighton, and it looks like Arsenal is the place he wants to go. And I think what was quite surreal last night was when you saw how the second half panned out. Mikel Arteta at halftime subbed off Thomas Partey. We're hearing different bits and pieces about whether he's fit at the moment. It had something to do with his ribs, but they were taking precautionary action. But they brought on Albert Sambi Lokonga last night, and it's not that he was terrible, but he just didn't look good. Do you know what I mean? He struggled in that game, and Mikel Arteta, it almost looked as if he was proving a point to the Cronkies, to Edu, that he cannot continue with Albert Sambi Lokonga in the team. He is not a direct replacement for Thomas Partey in that middle of the pitch, or even a Granit Xhaka or anybody. He is just not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. And it was point proven that I think Arteta is basically saying to them, go get me Caicedo and get rid of Sambi Lokonga, and I would be in full agreement with that. I think we need to get rid of Sambi Lokonga. I tried to give him a chance this season. He tricked me. He tricked me at the start of the season with the header against Chelsea in pre-season, and even against Aston Villa at home. I thought he actually played a decent enough game, but you have to take into account his performance at Old Trafford was poor, and in the Europa League he has really struggled. He's not really been able to stamp his authority on games. He struggled. Like, we're a club now who realistically, when you look at it, we're going to be playing Champions League football next season. We're going to want to be playing against the best teams in the world. We're challenging one of the best teams in the world for the title at the moment. If he's struggling in games against the likes of Bodo Glimt, Zurich and PSV Eindhoven, like, yeah, good team, but like, let's be realistic. If we're going to want to be playing the likes of Atletico Madrid next season, Real Madrid, Napoli, Man City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, if we're going to be Borussia Dortmund, if we're going to want to be playing against these sort of teams, PSG, then Albert Sambi Lokonga is not the answer to our problems. He is not the solution to having depth in midfield. I think it's about time we get rid of him. I think it's about time he either needs to be loaned out or just simply sold. He's not good enough for the club. He's not good enough to be playing in Mikel Arteta's system in midfield. And I think it's time we moved on. On more positives though, I thought Leandro Trossard, like I said, did play really well. He was creating chances very well. His ball control is really good. His speed he's very electric on the wing. He created a couple of chances in the first half as well. And he also, I think, upped Gabriel Martinelli's game, because he came on and he actually looked fairly sharp as well. He was bombing down the left-hand wing. the left-hand side, which is good because Martinelli was nearly getting a bit too comfortable knowing that his place is kind of secured at the moment. With Trossard coming in now, Trossard's not coming in. You know, as Aaron Ramsdale said on the Fellas podcast recently, he's not here to warm the bench. He's here to take action. He's here to take a spot and make it his own. He wants to be a starter here at the club. And with the way that game went yesterday, let's just hope that let's hope he can, you know, keep pushing. That we've the two of them pushing each other at the moment. Let's hope that it's a sign of things to come for the future. But Trossard looks really, really good on that wing. Rob Holding was taken off yesterday as well. I actually don't think he was that bad yesterday in the game, but obviously you could see the difference between him and Saliba at the back. I was disappointed not to see Kervier get a game yesterday, but I suppose it is what it is. I suppose you're going up against Manchester City. If we were playing against the likes of, I'm even watching it here, if we were going up against the likes of maybe Fulham or Sunderland, we might have seen him yesterday in the FA Cup, but going up against Manchester City, you can't really take that risk. I think it proved though that Manchester City weren't really up for this game in a way as well, because they took off the likes of De Bruyne, they took off the likes of Mahrez, you know, Haaland didn't do much in the game. It almost, in my eyes, it nearly looked like both sides looked like they wanted to lose, but obviously there has to be a winner and a loser at the end of the day. And look, we happened to lose the game. I'm not overly worried about it. I'd be more worried if we lost to them in the league, but overall I was happy enough with the performance, and I look forward to our meeting in the league on the 15th of February. Should be an absolute cracker at the Emirates. But obviously the next game for us now is Everton away from home. Hopefully Sammy Lukaku's gone by that stage, and you know what, hopefully we can have Caicedo or someone else in the squad for that game. And look, Everton they're basically going to appoint Sean Dyche now. He's going to be a new manager bounce, and we know what he's like with his breaks of football, so it's going to be a very interesting game. But yeah, hopefully we can get the 3 points in that one. So yeah, look, apologies if this is coming out late. I was working last night, so I didn't get the chance to do this last night or this morning or whatever. So here's the match review now anyways. I will have a preview out for the Everton game in a couple of days time. I'll try and also do a transfer video in the next couple of days if we get any transfers in or out. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll chat to you in the next one.